What's up, guys? Welcome back to more State of the Usmnt. Today, we're just going to break down and kind of recap, go through the breakdowns and give you my thoughts, what I thought, what I saw, what looked promising, what we can build on, what we could use as momentum going into the next World Cup qualifier window in November when we take off Mexico. We'll take on Mexico and Jamaica. Before this game kicked off, I kind of knew that Costa Rica was an aging team that was in a transition cycle, right? They were transitioning from their old generation, who in my opinion were pretty damn good. Right, they gave us fits a lot, into their new generation, which in my opinion, not sure what the case is with them, right? Not sure what's going to happen with Costa Rica moving forward, but basically they're a team that was on their last leg. They had players like Brian Reese, who was 36, Alvaro Saborio, who they brought out of retirement, who's 37, Kendall Watson, another player who's in his 30s, Navas, getting a little older, and I think Celso Borges, who's another midfielder, who is getting a little older, longer in the tooth, guys. So I said, you know what? We have a younger team, right? We're a little hungrier. We just dropped a game against Panama. We're at home. We have the crowd. This is a game we definitely need to win. This is a game we need to come in and start off fast, start off quick, and give it to Costa Rica. Obviously, that wasn't the case, but the game kind of solved itself towards the end, and it showed. Time after time, you saw Weston McKennie, Tyler Adams, and Yunus Musa just running down that Costa Rica midfield, and nobody was stopping them. I mean, Costa Rica's midfield couldn't stop a nosebleed, and that obviously has to do to the fact that this team is an aging team. We needed to take advantage of that, and we did. Towards the end of the game, Costa Rica, 63rd minute, 65th minute, they were running a lot. They were parking the bus a little bit, and that's what we took advantage with the Tim Weah speed and just broke their back line. Eventually gave us the lead 2-1. But yeah, before this game even kicked off, I said, this is a game we need to come in and we need to just give it to Costa Rica. We need to put it all on the table and we need to find a way to get this win. And congratulations to the kids, the boys, to Berhalter. Hey, I go both ways here, guys. If Berhalter does good, I'm going to congratulate him. If he doesn't, I'm going to call him out. But overall, it was a good showing. Not perfect, not great, but good enough to win those 3 points. Ladies and gentlemen, that's what happens. These are the results we're going to get more often than not when we start our core players from the start, from the beginning, from the gate, allow them to impact the game positively, and then after that, we could just adjust, right? But this is what you want to do right here. This is the blueprint for you to win games moving forward. Come out, put the Musas of the world, the Adams, the McKinneys, if you have them available, the Robinsons, the other Robinsons, the Dests, the Pepis, Aaronsons, when Pulisic and Rain aren't healthy, you start those players. They give you the best opportunity to win, and last night it proved it, okay? And I'm going to give you some facts here, okay? I'm going to give you some facts here, just so you guys could see that the team we do start obviously does impact the game from the beginning, right? And sets the tempo for the remainder of the game, and whether you're going to be able to come back or not. Against Panama, we were down 1-0. Obviously, we did not have our core players from the beginning, and they were not having an impact. So Panama was doing their thing, and we were away. We were down. We just couldn't claw back up. We couldn't find a way to get that goal, that equalizer, and eventually we succumbed to the defeat. But last night, we started our core players, our best players available. We took one to the gut early against a very aging Costa Rica team, but these core players found a way to get that tunnel vision, regain the confidence, and say, you know what? No. We're at home. We have our crowd. We're better than these guys. We're more technical. We're more talented. We got this game. We have to find a way to win, and that's exactly what happened. Talent took over. Did you see that amazing shot that Sergino Dest had? The guy was driving time after time down that right sideline. That right sideline was his all night, just bam, 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 hitting them, getting forward. He's better when he's getting forward than when he's sitting back defending, okay? I understand Sergino is a liability defending, but going forward, the kid's a stud. And last night he showed it. Drove, juked inside, and then just curled it to the left. And it was an amazing world-class equalizer for us. Tim Weah, the same thing. Found a way to use that speed, found a way to get behind the back line, and kicked a solid, lethal shot to the right, to the first post. Found a way to get in. I think it was like an own goal or something like that. But eventually still, that was Tim Weah's skill. Being able to get behind the back line with that pure natural speed and finding a way to drill that to the first post. That gave us the lead. When we kicked off this game last night against Costa Rica, I noticed one thing we didn't see against Panama, and that was urgency. That was hunger. That was something that we were lacking. And that's something that was very visible last night against Costa Rica. I don't know if it was just us being at home or just the new starting 11, but something was different. We came out with more urgency, with more hunger to look for goal. Unfortunately, like I said, we received that goal, but still, we found a way to just throw it in the back burner, not really care about that, and said, you know what, we've been here. We've been here. We've been down before. We're going to come back. We're going to find a way to claw back, and that's what we did. That urgency, that hunger, wanting to get the fullbacks forward, wanting to win those trenches, those battles in the midfield. In my opinion, we did a good job at doing both. Our fullbacks were getting forward. Robinson was doing his thing time after time on the left side, and Sergino was doing his thing on the right side time after time. Weston McKennie was continuously recovering balls and transitioning them into offense. He was an engine. He was a motor. Tyler Adams, I mean, in my opinion, he's our fire extinguisher. The guy, I mean, if there's a fire in the back, he's going to put it out. Kind of like what Taylor Twellman said. Perfect example. And he's the reason why Yunus Musa, in my opinion, and Weston McKennie can play a little bit more advanced in their certain roles, right? Because they know that if they do kind of wander and someone gets behind them, Adams is going to be there to just clean that up. Adams is not going to allow anybody to surpass him. He's going to find a way to either he's going down or he's taking the guy with him. But he's not going to allow anybody to pass him and go clean to the back line. That's why he's so damn special to this team. And in my opinion, he's one of the most important players. Musa, on the other hand, did have a quiet night, but still the guy's dynamic. He's special. And in my opinion, he should definitely be a lock in the midfield, just like McKennie and Adams. When these three guys start, I mean, our midfield just overruns the opponent's midfield. They're constantly just regaining possession, constantly trying to find a way to create, to move offensively. And that obviously benefits the wingers and the strikers, right? So this trio here, this is a lock for me. These guys should definitely start all the time, if healthy, if available. I want to talk to you guys about 3 quick positives that I did see from this game, I took from this game, and I want to share it with you guys. Now, I'm pretty sure there's going to be much more positives, and if you have anything different than mine, definitely incorporate in the comment section. The first one is we got to start off fast. We got to give it to the opponent, pedal to the metal out the gate. Granted, there's been times where we've been down, like yesterday, for example, and we found a way to claw back in and just revamp a comeback, right? But that's not always the case. That's not always going to happen, and let's be honest, we also have a coach that can't adjust on the fly. If he's being outcoached, it's most likely going to end that way. The guy just can't adjust, can't adapt on the fly, and it's evident. So we need to rely on our skilled players to give us that initial lead, right? And kind of just go from there, adjust from there. But that's just one of my thoughts. It just depends on the game, obviously. But if we want to have the best opportunity to win, I think we got to have the best lineup forward and out the gate like that. That's what I think. The second positive here might contradict my first one, but it's resiliency. This team has showed that they're resilient. They received a punch to the gut. They served a counter punch to Costa Rica, and then eventually they hit him with a dagger, Tim Weah's goal. They showed that they can be able to come back. If they're down 1-0, they're going to come back. So that's something positive we could take into Mexico, going into the games against Mexico, into Jamaica in the next World Cup qualifier window in November. And God forbid if we're down 1-0 against Mexico in Cincinnati, we know that we can kind of start a comeback, right? Potentially get that tie or potentially get that win. But that's a good card we can definitely keep in the back of the pocket if we ever need it. If we're ever down 1-0, 2-0, we know that in our head, this team is more than capable of coming back, right? Obviously, depends on the players you have on the field, so we also got to take that into consideration. But overall, to have a resilient team, a team that could serve a counterpunch, that's something positive, in my opinion. The last thing here I want to talk about, and it's not a positive, but it's just a point I want to talk about. It's something I've been noticing from this coaching staff and this coach Berhalter a lot lately, and that's overthinking the process. It's not that hard. You know, I understand in the Panama game, he wanted to rest players. He completely swapped the whole squad. And, you know, in my opinion, that was just overthinking. You put a good system, a good scheme, you know, to kind of complement them and their technical skill already. And you allow them to win games for you. You allow them to go out there and hash out the games. And in my opinion, I'm going to be honest. I'm not overhyping anybody. I'm not saying that, you know, we have the best players, but yeah, let's be honest. We're probably the most or the second most talented team in the CONCACAF. Don't overthink things. Come out here, put your best starting 11 forward, give them a good game plan, and just adjust throughout the game. And trust me, this team, these players, these prospects we have are capable enough of winning games for you without you even exerting yourself. Okay, just letting you know. But not a positive, just something I want to talk about. Let's not overthink. Let's just go out there, have some fun, and let's get some results. Let's flip the script over a little bit and talk about the players and just see what players stood out and whatnot. Zach Steffen came in for Matt Turner. There was a lot of controversy. People were wondering why Matt Turner wasn't getting the nod. Matt Turner had got the nod in every single game up to this point in the World Cup qualifiers. In my opinion, I mean, I knew we were going to see Zach Steffen eventually, so this was a game where we saw him, and he did concede early, but after that, just remained calm, stayed composed, and just got to work, and overall, I think had an okay game, had a solid game. I don't know who's going to start going forward, but I mean, like I've said in the past, we really can't go wrong with either or. We got Matt Turner and Zach Steffen, so that's pretty damn good. Anthony Robinson and Sergino Dest, defensively, they were okay. Offensively, you know them. I mean, they were getting up and down, so they did their thing. They looked pretty solid, and Sergino Dest obviously had that goal, so I can't complain about that. Center back tandem between Miles Robinson and Chris Richards. Finally got to see Chris Richards. I didn't think we were going to see him, but we did, and he looked okay. I mean, there was some times where he was sending some decisive balls up the gut instead of just playing it west and east. He was going north. He was taking some chances, and that's what I love about the kid. He's not like your ordinary center back. He'll take some chances, and if he messes up, he'll be there to clean it up. He's just a special kid. And last night, I think he did have one or two bad passes, but overall, I think he was stout. Miles Robinson, on the other hand, was kind of iffy last night. Had a bad giveaway, I think once, and actually, as a matter of fact, twice, but definitely had one where he kind of had to like chase down the play and make a save, make a tackle. But defense, they were okay. The midfield, we already talked about them a little bit, but I mean, you can't overshadow them. They're special. That trio is special, and they're a lock for me in the future World Cup qualifier games and potentially even the World Cup. They complement each other so good. I mean, you got Adams putting out fires, doing everything well defensively, can obviously, reset the tempo and transition into offense at times, without a doubt. But then you got McKinney, who could do the defensive work as well, and just do the offensive work equally as good as Yunus Musa, who can drive down the field, down the spine of the defense, and just attack you in different ways and open up the ball offensively for other players. They're just damn good. So the middle, spot on last night. We also saw a little bit of Gianluca Busio, who, in my opinion, that move to Venezia has definitely benefited and impacted his development in a positive way. The kid is definitely taking some strides, and I just can't wait to see what this kid's going to turn into. I think that in 2-3 years, he's going to be competing. He's going to go up against somebody in the midfield for some minutes, for some starter minutes at the USMNT level. That's what I think. I mean, on the ball and off the ball, the kid was looking special. When he received the ball, immediately try to turn around and transition into offense. Trying to find that teammate that was screaming down the spine of the defense so he could send a nice decisive pass to them. Or off the ball, he was making the correct moves, trying to open up for teammates, trying to find those open pockets where he could slide in and just receive the ball and then try to transition, right? The kid was looking special. Overall, I'm excited about Gianluca, and this is another starlet, another prodigy we could add to the line here of amazing midfielders that we have right now. The winger position, Tim Weah got the nod over Areola last minute, and thank God. Thank you, Jesus. Tim Weah was a blessing in disguise. Came in, had a quiet night, but then towards the end of the second half, he started getting going a little bit. In the first half, had some nice runs, but overall, the second half was his night. Came in, made an impact, even had his goal. So overall, Tim Weah is showing that he belongs, that he needs to get more minutes, that he needs to get incorporated into the first team a little bit more and build some more chemistry with these guys. So we got to give him a little bit more nods with the starting 11. That's what I think. Aronson, on the other hand, typical night, just constantly working, high motor, high engine, did his thing, and obviously contributed to the offense. Pepe, well, he had a quiet night. Let's be honest. He didn't really do much. He had some movements here and there, had a nice header where I thought he had an opportunity to score there, but Keylor Navas was there. Aside from that, pretty quiet night from Pepe, but it's fine. The kid stepped up against Honduras when we needed him the most, stepped up against Jamaica. And that's going to do it for today's video, guys. This is going to be the recap, the breakdown between Costa Rica and the U.S. I know there wasn't a ton of breakdowns, but I just wanted to talk about some positives that I did see and some things that we can kind of do a little bit more in the future going forward to help us win games, help us garner more points. That's what I wanted to do. Overall, it wasn't pretty, it wasn't great, but this team came out, got punched immediately, and they served a counter punch, and they found a way to grind it out. They had a world-class strike from Dest and a solid strike, lethal kick from Timothy Weah that kind of was an own goal, and that gave us a victory. Overall, it's 3 points that I could say, you know what? They weren't pretty, but they count. and they count towards the World Cup qualification. They count towards us going to Qatar. So that's something positive. That's something we could definitely take into the next window and ride that momentum when we take on Mexico and Jamaica. But I'm going to give credit to this team, man. They came out, they hashed it out, they found a way, and I'm proud of them. And this goes out to the Berhalter lovers, Berhalter fanboys out there. I'm not bashing on Berhalter at all, guys. Like I mentioned, I go both ways. If he does a good job, I'm gonna praise the guy. I'm gonna give him his round of applause, like I did in the CNL when he won the CNL and the Gold Cup. He did his thing. Round of applause. But lately he's been dropping the damn ball, and we got to call him out. We can't be complacent. We got to find ways to improve this team, to be better. And it starts with us. It starts with us holding people like them accountable. And if they're doing good, congrats. If they're doing bad, they're going to hear it. Aside from that, enjoy this victory. Enjoy this. Relish it. And let's take it easy until November comes in, okay? Right now, we're sitting in second place. It's looking good. We'll take it one game at a time. And then we'll see what happens next time. But aside from that, guys, this is your boy Marv. Thank you guys for joining the show. I'll see you guys next time.